All right, friends, we're into February. For all intents and purposes, trapping season is over. Fox and raccoon trapping is over here in the state of Ohio, but coyote trapping is still in. We can hunt and trap them all year long, and it so happens that I'm going to try to extend my coyote trapping season into extra innings. Last week I pulled pretty much every set that I had out except for two particular farms where there seems to be a fair amount of coyotes working through. And of course, since then, we've gotten a bunch of snow, and the coyotes have changed their pattern yet again. The creeks are frozen up, and they're running the ditches a lot. So, nonetheless, I'm going to let them ride here for another couple days or so. We're expecting a little bit more snow. I've got a modified dirt hole set here and here. Two of them, got one right here behind me and one over here to the south. And then earlier this week, we made some truck tracks and put in some flat sets and a blind set in the truck tracks. And of course, since then, we have not had any action, but we're giving it our best. And that's not to say that this season wasn't once again a learning lesson. Learned a bunch, always do. And for trapping the last 3 weeks, as is typical in Northwest Ohio, you're fighting weather, freeze thaw, that sort of stuff, but we did okay. Day 7 on the trap line. Set traps last Friday was the first day I had 2 sets in the ground. We had roughly 2/10 of an inch of rain overnight, and right at daybreak it transitioned to snow, and tomorrow will be a day full of resets. All right, guys, day 8. I've had some moisture roll through here the last couple of days, some rain, a little bit of snow. I'm really hoping that some stuff starts to hit. I just had way too much sign not to catch more than one coyote. However, again, that's part of late season trapping. There's a fox right there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. How cool is that? I likely just bumped that fox out of this section. I was just checking that trap down below and add a little calcium. And look up as I come up the hill, and there's a red fox running across the field. That's pretty cool. Not necessarily my target animal, but I don't mind catching those either. They're pretty neat critters. Anyways, as I was saying, I really hope that we start getting some catches here. We've been battling a little bit of weather. It's just not been cold.
Yeah, it's a red fox. No, it is. It's coyote.
He's sound asleep, it looks like.
Laying down?
Yeah.
Or is it dead?
No, he ain't dead.
No, he ain't dead.
He just asleep.
Oh, he still caught a little bit.
Bam, coyote number 2, finally. Change in weather the last couple of days. Had a sneaking suspicion that some stuff might start to hit. And bam, we've got us a coyote. That's awesome. Good looking dog. Caught him a little bit higher than the last one. Not crazy high, 2 toes, but we're going to go take care of him here in a minute. All right, guys, so obviously we have dispatched the coyote. It's a smaller male, one of the smaller males I've ever caught, probably this year's pup. And we're going to do just a simple remake. That's one thing about this modified dirt hole, is it is easy to remake because your stakes are so high up. Whereas a flat set, typical dirt hole, there's some poopy there, typical dirt hole, they're going to make a mess of that set. And this one they do on occasion, but for the most part, it's an easy remake. So I think I mentioned before about double staking. Right there's why he had one stake pumped up quite a bit, but they locked before he was able to get him real far out of the ground. Now I'm also going to keep track of all the scat because I might use that here or at another place. So there's one pile right there. Where's that stick. Kind of a nice change in this weather. No doubt got the coyotes hunting and moving. This is our second stop of the day. In the first stop, we had some tracks nowhere near the trap site, but we did have some tracks. So they were out hunting last night for sure. Just gonna redig my trap bed, and I'm gonna keep all this dirt in the area. I may not use it in the actual bed, but I'll keep it in the area because now it's got that coyote scent. And I'm guessing that being no bigger than he is probably not the alpha dog in the area. Let her flat. Second to last trap check of the year. Got one more evening to catch anything I'm going to catch because I'm headed out of town tomorrow. And right now, I'm not feeling real good about things, if I'm being completely honest. Yesterday morning, we woke up to a slushy, icy, little bit of snowy mess. And last night it froze solid, 20 degrees. So I'm guessing traps were non-functional last night. The only way to know is to go find out, and that's what we're going to do. So guys, that's part of trapping too, unfortunately. Coming up this lane where I caught my second coyote of the year about a week ago, and I cut some coyote tracks coming all the way down the lane to my set here. Get to the set, and at one point during the night or something, I had one. Doesn't look like I had it very long because there's not a whole big bunch of a fight circle. But the dog of the trap is bent, and a jaw is popped. Popped right out of the trap there. So that's part of trapping too, unfortunately. I have a lot of trust in these traps, and I've only ever, outside of toe catches, I've never lost a coyote out of these traps. Things happen. It's hard to say what happened, other than he popped a jaw and lives to see another day. Again, I don't think I had it very long, simply for the fact that there's not a big fight circle, but that's how it goes. It's been a while since I lost a coyote, and it stinks. Never fun when it happens. So this trap is obviously ruined with it being my last really day to catch. I'm going to go ahead and pull this trap and call this spot good for the year. Rolling back into one of the old standby farm. If you watched our first trapping video this year, the sign here was ridiculous, and I've always caught coyotes here, and I haven't had a track one this entire year. It's the strangest thing ever. You see that much sign, and then poof, gone. So, it just goes to show you how these animals will change their habits, change their locations. Maybe they ate this area mostly out of their food. Could have been a bunch of pups in here that dispersed. You just don't know. But for an old standby and as much sign, I'm pretty disappointed in it. But that's trapping. And that's a wrap on my trapping season. Left a lot on the table, there's no doubt about it. I've said it once, I'll say it again, you're not gonna catch them all. Do I think that I would have caught more animals in the last 3 weeks? Yes, absolutely. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have done it. But that's trapping. You can't control where the animals go. And I will always set sign, as I've said it in the past. I set the sign this year, and you just don't know when that sign was created. That could have been from a lot of pups that dispersed. Animals' habits may have changed. They may have eaten the one area out of food and moved on. So, nonetheless, it was a good year. Learned a lot, and again, hopefully next year we'll get together with my boy Kevin, and we'll talk a little bit more about trapping, canine trapping, specifically fox and coyotes, and how we're going to change some things up. But for now, that's it. It's on to Indiana for a coyote hunt. When I get back, you better believe we're going to be after the coyotes with the collar. So, onward and upward. Well, gang, this was an unexpected event. I left a couple traps in this weekend because I was supposed to be down in Indiana, but I left a couple in that the landowners were going to check on their particular farms, and this is one of them. This was a hot spot that earlier when I was setting traps, I was like, man, there's just way too much sign not to catch anything. Here we are, the third week, and I've got a coyote. It's a smaller coyote. I'm guessing it's a female, but awesome. This colder weather finally got these critters moving, got these coyotes up and hunting harder, and here we go. Coyote on the board. Pretty awesome. Gotta love this game. I'm gonna go ahead and dispatch her, reset the trap. We've got a big snow coming, they say. They're calling for 6 to 10 inches, which will throw a big monkey wrench in trapping, but it'll make the calling really good. And who knows, maybe tonight we'll catch another coyote or two, because they're going to be hungry and hunting hard before this storm. So awesome. On the board, another coyote down. So that's how the last couple of weeks on the trap line have gone. Major changes in weather that have caused major changes in habits and patterns. Freeze thaw temperatures, and then quite a bit of snow. So we'll see how the next 5 to 7 days go and see if maybe we can pick up another coyote or two.